Welcome to another episode of the Nothing and Everything podcast, where today we'll talk a lot of nothing
and a little bit about everything. Yep.
There's so many things to discuss.
Are there? That's the setup that always lets. That's the setup that provides the letdown.
You know, I was talking to someone this weekend, and they were like, "Yeah, Kyle," or someone came up to Kyle and was like, "Hey, I listened to the podcast," and Kyle immediately just apologized.
They said that?
Yep. Is that our thing now? When someone's like, "Hey, I really enjoy the podcast," are we like, "Really? I'm sorry"?
Did they say? If they said they enjoyed it,
right?
It feels like a little bit of punishment for them. Like, what did you do to deserve? Like,
yeah.
Did you accidentally stumble across?
You know, I used to think that at first. I was like, but then now.
But then the people don't know what they're missing.
I think the content is so top quality, just top shelf, that I think.
Seriously. Wait, what do you mean by top shelf? Describe that a little bit.
Top shelf, man. It's just like this.
What's on the top shelf? Like,
it's all the good stuff. The good stuff. You know?
Well, yes.
Like when you go to the grocery store, did you know this? All the bad stuff that's bad for the bad stuff that's bad for you. All the bad stuff, all the sugar cereal and stuff is within kid view and reach.
Right, and the even worse is like the bags. Like the ones that didn't even make it in the box. Like you get 3 times the amount of cereal.
Right.
But it's quantity over quality.
Well, and it's like...
That ain't on the top shelf.
It's, like Happy-O's instead of Cheerios, Happy-O's. And it's
Circle cereal are fun.
Circle cereal. Yeah. And it's just weird.
What's a top shelf cereal, though?
Well, like bran flakes.
Oh, God.
That's what we are.
You need some extra fiber going on there?
We're like Grape Nuts or whatever. That's us.
Grape Nuts.
You remember that cereal?
I remember because I think my dad ate it growing up.
But How about Life?
I like Cinnamon Life. You got to put something on it.
Life was that cereal that Mikey liked. Remember, Mikey likes it.
Oh yeah.
You remember that commercial?
I do. Not everyone does.
Not everyone will, but
he's
like Life. Is that a movie or a board game? A cereal too?
That's what I do every day.
That's what I do. Life. Thug life.
Do you have a go-to? Do you eat cereal in your house?
My boys eat
I know.
Cereal.
I bet they do.
Every
Teenage
single
boys
night.
can pound some cereal.
I don't even understand.
Every night?
Every single night.
What are they eating?
Well, right now it's Fruit Loops because it comes in a big bag.
It's Fruity-O's.
Fruity-O's. Yeah.
Fruit Loops.
Tammy made the mistake one time.
I can go a deep dive on cereal if you want, but we don't have to.
Oh, y'all do the big cereal thing, right?
Like we do Christmas that, but that's kind of a special thing. But I'm saying, like, I ate cereal a ton growing up.
Yeah.
And then, like, in college, when you walk in to the dining facility, and it's just like,
oh yeah.
You just fill it up over and over. I'm like, man.
So I didn't do that. Like we had Frosted Flakes, but that was I would beg my parents for Frosted Flakes, and they'd get it. But my dad ate Corn Flakes, which is just like, to me, it was just like a bunch of scabs in a in a bowl. There's like no flavor.
That is so disgusting.
I mean, that's what I thought about it.
Scabs.
Right. And so, like, it was punishment,
to eat cornflakes.
To eat cornflakes, because I would get the sugar and I'd pour sugar all over it, and then like at the bottom is like this.
Yeah, the gray sludge of.
And you drink the milk and it's just like barely
that's
pouring
like the
out.
Best. The best bite ever is if you have a spoonful of milk, sugar,
and sugar.
So stupid, but it's so good. See, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Even if I had Rice Krispies, I'm dumping some sugar on it.
The thing about the Nothing and Everything podcast that makes it so good is that we're all the same. We all have the same experiences.
The same.
So there are probably hundreds of millions of people watching right now who are going, I've been there. I
did that too.
Yeah. I like
relatable.
I like the sugar in the milk at the end.
Seriously.
Now, probably the younger generation, they have all that stuff mixed into the actual cereal, so it doesn't come out like sugar in the bottom of the milk. They just have it mixed in, like, you know what I'm saying?
They'd have it milk, mixed into the milk.
Or actually, probably this young generation can't, they're like allergic to it.
Yeah, they're lactose intolerant.
They're allergic to everything.
I have a milk allergy.
Yeah, right.
And I'm gluten-free. Hang on, that was just people in my house. I'm sorry.
So my son was gluten-free for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then when COVID hit,
It cured it.
Well, we're like, hey, we ain't leaving the house for who knows how long, so here's some bread. Eat it. See what happens.
So he got gluten tolerant real quick?
He was set free.
Ooh.
Free
indeed.
From the glutens.
Yeah? I mean, I guess there's some legitimate stuff to it. It feels... This is going to sound like... This is going to be one of those, like, get off my lawn thing. But, like, you know, you and I are similar ages. I'm older.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't... Maybe
Let it be
just...
known.
Maybe it was just, like, the kid ate peanuts and he died and we never knew.
Right.
But, like, I don't remember a lot of peanut allergies. Now, I think that there's probably some stuff that's happened, you know, genetic modifications and...
Whoa.
All this
really?
stuff. I'm sure there's something to it.
Yeah.
But... Because that whole industry has advanced, as far as I know,
right?
Or what I'm thinking or making up in my head. But like
you know, like
I don't remember anybody like having a milk allergy, a shellfish allergy, a gluten-free.
Right.
I mean, those things. I believe they are legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat.
Right.
But like, I just don't remember it being that prevalent.
You're probably making people mad right now.
I know, but I'm not saying that it's wrong or it's inaccurate or there's not a problem.
Man, he's working real hard.
I know. I'm trying to wordsmith real hard. I'm just
sorry
saying
for his insensitivity.
When I was in
allergies.
elementary school or middle school, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, we ate like fish pizza one time. I remember at school, and like everybody just threw up and got over it, and you just moved on. You know, I just don't remember being, hey, you can't bring your peanut butter and jelly sandwich because.
So friends with allergies.
Timmy's. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like
Kyle is saying, throw up and get over it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I just don't remember it being, and maybe it was, and your parents you just dealt with it differently, or you know.
There's a lot of things actually that I don't remember.
I'm not milk intolerant, but I hate milk. I just don't like milk. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things that growing up I just didn't like. Culturally speaking. There's a whole lot of things that happen nowadays that going outside and playing until the street light came on cured for us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when you fall down, yard, you know, when you shred your arm open because you're riding your skateboard down the middle of the street, you get up, you pour some rubbing alcohol on it.
Some, what was it?
Isopropyl.
And then Bactine or whatever.
Spray it with some, and then you just like, and get back out there and keep playing. Nowadays, it's like you fall down, you know, get a little cut on your arm. We're making everybody mad today. Man. Is this our last episode? Is that what's going on? Just make everybody mad and leave? No. So, you know, there's probably a little bit of toughness that happened back in the day that maybe doesn't happen nowadays.
Feels like it.
But, you know, I could be wrong.
Well, that coupled with the, like, what's it called? I guess appeasement. Like if I complain about something or I don't like this or I have a sensitivity to this, well then companies and everybody bends over backwards to accommodate, which there should be some. I mean, I'm not saying that it just feels, and it's so accessible versus back then it's like, hey, you got bread or you got no bread, you know, like. Yeah,
there were times when, like, you know, if I go someplace and I get really bad service at a restaurant, I mean, if it's bad, then I would say something to, like, the owner. But what I would say, and probably some sort of an email or something like that, it's not like, hey, your restaurant's absolutely terrible, blah, blah. But it'll be more along the lines of, you might want to address this because I had a pretty significant experience to the point where I'm not coming back to your place. You know, I'm not going to burn their house down, but I'm like, you might want to check this, you know, check into this, whatever. It was significant enough. But then most of the time I would just say, you know what, I just won't come back. If I don't like a restaurant or don't like a certain kind of service, I'll just leave. And I'll just, you know, nowadays I feel like in every way people want you to bend over backwards for them and, you know, do everything. I mean, that happens. I mean, you know, we're pastors in a church. It happens. You know, there are times that kind of stuff happens, you know, and.
I don't know where we're going with
Why are we so angry today?
I know, man.
It's you, man. You're so angry. You started off angry.
No, but
you're mad at all the people with allergies.
I'm not mad at them. I believe in allergies. I believe they exist.
Thank you.
I believe they're out there. I'm just saying it seems different than it did.
Let's talk about something else.
Well, hold on.
Oh, God.
Oh, he's about. Oh, no. Here we
He's
go.
like, wait, I'm allergic to air.
No, I've been doing some reading up on it.
Okay.
And there's a theory that because we're become the transition from living more cleaner, we live a lot cleaner, we clean up everything, blah, blah, blah. And we're also living a more indoor lifestyle than we are an outdoor lifestyle than we were in the past. So because of that, we're developing all these allergies to things that we didn't have allergies to in the past.
That's fair.
So if kids had grown up eating a bowl of scabs, they'd be much better off nowadays. Kids eat your scabs.
Eat your scabs. Put enough sugar on it, be good to go at the end. Nice little treat at the end.
Oh, gosh.
You know,
I think that's what I'm saying. I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
And so it just feels like, man, that has accelerated quite a bit in the last 20, 30, 40 years. Where are we going to be 30 years from now?
Here's something crazy. So I'm in Africa on a mission trip. And I'm walking around and I'm thinking, okay, there's not a ton of food here. There's not a ton of anything. I mean, everything is, well, what you would expect in a village in Africa. Yet every person that I met that came up to me and talked to me, or like we interacted with, their teeth were perfect. They were bright white, like they had just used that Crest white strip, right? Yeah. And I'm like, hold on.
They probably were at the kiosk in the middle of the mall where they shine the black light on.
No, there's no way. These people live out in the
middle
of nowhere.
That's what it looks like, though.
Like they have water bottles with rubber bands for shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how are their teeth so perfect? And so after they would eat or first thing in the morning or whatever, they'd go pull this little like a stem off of, or a little piece of whatever branch or stem off of a tree or this bush, and they would just kind of rub their teeth with it.
Really?
Yeah, just to kind of, I don't know, clean them or whatever. But I'm thinking, your teeth, like you have access to nothing. I have access to everything, and your teeth are perfect and straight and like white, bright white.
Yeah.
And mine are not. So I'm like, that's.
Did it change your oral hygiene habits?
No.
You go outside and grab a bush and.
No. Yeah, I mean, I got some boxwoods in my front yard. Do you think that'll clean my teeth?
Next time after you eat dinner. Hey, Tammy, hang on.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that could be
That's
right.
a perfect example.
Well, it's
an
example.
A example.
Mm-hmm.
An example.
An example.
That was.
Let's talk about yesterday. What did you do yesterday? We had a day off.
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
We did.
We had a day off.
Federal holiday.
Yep. MLK. Did you do anything?
Nope. I mean, just stuff around the house.
Yeah.
I had one kid that was a little under the weather, and we did go outside and play. We ate some bark, some chips, some wood chips.
Well, you have young kids, so that very well could be the treat.
That's just a normal day. Yeah,
right,
that's just a normal
right.
treat. So, yeah, I mean, we did family stuff just around the house. But, as you would gather, I didn't do anything. Something got into my garbage can, though. Like, I think the lid wasn't closed all the way. And now I'm curious as to, like, we see deer, I see squirrels, see rabbits. I'm like, I can't see those things. Maybe a deer would have gotten it, but it must be like a possum
or a raccoon or something. Yeah.
But I've never seen a raccoon in the area, maybe because I'm not out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they're a little more nocturnal.
But I found we were cleaning out some stuff in the house. I found I see this white thing in the middle of the woods behind my house, and there was like a pillow. Like he had taken the pillow out. And my kids were like, Dad, maybe they were trying to, was it
my pillow?
No, it wasn't that. It was like some cheap little pillow.
Have you ever used a My Pillow?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. Do you? What is it?
Well, we went to a store one time, and they had My Pillows there, and it was one for $40, which is a very expensive pillow.
Yeah.
Or two for $50.
Oh.
So we bought a two-pack.
Don't do it. Yeah.
And
a 2-pack of pillows. 2-pack of My Pillows.
2-pack of My Pillows. So I used it one night, and I was done with it.
Why?
Because it's not very comfortable. I like a very flat pillow. I've actually had the same pillow.
Like flat and hard, or like flat and real squishy?
Real squishy.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night when I roll over, I like to fold it in half.
To
that
the other
way
side.
It's cool.
Cool on the other side.
I like the other side of the pillow. But my pillow is the pillow that I currently use.
It's confusing to say my pillow.
The pillow that I currently use, I think, is the same pillow that I had when I was growing up.
Well, so that happened recently, or my wife was like, I don't know, changing the bedding or whatever, and she was like,
"Oh, is this from
your pillow is pretty
the duvet? Is this that whole
the duvet incident?
Yeah.
It might have been.
Oh gosh,
it's similar timing, but we got new pillows, and now they're our pillows. There was no my pillow because
okay.
I'm paying $50 for 2 pillows. I mean, especially after one night, you're like, that ain't no good.
Yeah.
I looked at the pillow and I was like, that's pretty gross. Like, I don't know what's been going on in my pillowcase inside, but we started over.
Yeah. I don't like going to like when I stay at a motel or not a
motel, hotel at a Holiday Inn. Yeah.
If I stay at one of those places, they have like 18 pillows up on the bed, and then all of them you're like sleeping like this because you're whatever.
It's a little too many.
It's just So I don't.
I have evolved, if you would, with my pillow strategy in the house that I would have never grown up with.
Yeah.
Like I use, growing up, you have a pillow, probably a little pancake flat one like you have.
Right.
And now I'm like, I gotta have one for. Maybe it's because I'm like old. I'm like, gotta have one for my knees, so my back stays straight. I gotta have one to prop this up.
Oh my goodness. We have pillows in our house that you actually can't use.
Can we go back to the motel?
Motel. Do you know the difference between a motel and a hotel?
Doors on the outside.
A motel, when you open your door, you are outside. That's right.
I don't think I knew kind of the distinction, and maybe just depending on obviously like where you are and what the establishment is. When we lived in California, I had a little secret getaway weekend for my wife, and Santa Barbara, it's not cheap, and trying to get away on a little pastor salary weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find anything that was like nice, that was affordable. So, but it was like a decent chain, like a
Howard Johnson,
like a Holiday Inn Express or something like that.
A Hojo?
I don't think it was a Hojo. It might have been, but we pulled up and we'd been married. I mean, this is like 10 years. So and my wife was not happy that it was a motel because the doors were on the outside.
Yeah,
and I was just like,
in a hotel,
from their car to the.
You got to go into like a lobby, go in the elevator, get into a hallway, and then come find you. Whereas if you're on the first floor of a motel, it's just like.
Yeah, I thought I had done like a romantic weekend getaway.
No, you failed. Bro.
I failed in the motel.
You failed.
But it was a nice motel.
Hey, let's change gears real quick. Let's talk about this. There was a statue that was unveiled in Boston. I
know very little about it.
I don't know much about it.
I've seen people like, what is that?
Yeah, there was one guy.
Can we recreate like the arm linkage?
No. There was one guy that said something about. He said, if someone could have gotten to the artist years ago, because they're probably on this trajectory, right? Like they're starting to do this real creative art and real expressive art and real, art that is just so far out there that it doesn't connect with
abstract,
people. Yeah. He's like, if someone could have gotten to him or her or whoever a long time ago, then that probably would not have been.
What do you mean gotten to him?
Like and say, hey, this ain't good.
Like a time traveler, like come back and say,
no,
don't do it.
No, it's like on American Idol or The Voice, when they go try out and then they're devastated when Simon tells them, hey, you're actually not that good.
Yeah.
And then they're devastated because like my whole life I've been told that I'm like the best singer in the world or whatever, and then, So in the same way, if someone could have been like, hey, if you keep doing this, one day you're going to be embarrassed because of what you produce or whatever.
But is it an overwhelming negative response?
I haven't read a single. I've probably seen 100 posts on it, and I'm sure there's more, but I haven't seen a single one that's like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you?
I haven't. They've all been negative, but
like I've been to DC.
I'm sure you could find somebody. Right. Okay.
I've been to DC and I saw the one in DC and I was like, this is actually really cool.
King. Right,
yeah. Really, really cool.
And that one looks cool.
Yeah.
It's a little abstract with him coming out of the wall, but you're like, that's who that is.
And I haven't read up on it, so I don't know if there's any like symbolism in the one in DC.
Yeah.
There probably is. I don't know. But just visually, you look at it and you go, this is really nice. This is nice monument or statue in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. This other one, you look at it and you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, what is this supposed to be? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but isn't that good art, though? Like, wouldn't somebody be like, oh, you got to really question?
The problem is, I think most people in the world would just go, I don't know what that is. Let's go to this next one. This one looks nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's go find them.
Let's ask.
The Boston Tea Party.
Let's ask the younger generation.
Yeah, what does he think?
Austin, have you seen a picture of it?
Represent.
You haven't even seen a picture of it?
He has no idea. He doesn't know.
Here, let me
Google it real quick. Look it up real quick,
Google it.
and then give us your immediate response. Now he's gonna go. He's gonna be the contrarian here and be. It's the
MLK monument in Boston.
Yeah, I didn't look into it too much, but I'm also, was there not anybody scratching their head as they're kind of putting it together, or is it behind the curtains and somebody goes, I don't know that the unveiling of this is going to go as what we thought.
Could it have been like Noah, where he's building this ark and people come by and like, hey, bro, what's that? And he's like, this is an ark. The earth is going to flood when it starts raining. They're like, rain? What's rain? It hadn't rained ever. What are you talking about? What is rain? You see it?
You see it?
Yeah, what is it?
Right. Exactly. So it's if you look at the side-by-side picture of...
But you're creative. What do you think of it? What do you visually...
It's supposed to be Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott, embracing, like they're hugging. But all they did was they chopped everything else off and just left the arms there.
When you say it like that, they chopped their arms off.
Well, I mean, that's what it looked like.
Propped them up.
Right?
Yeah.
Whoa. So even Austin may be one of the most creative people that I know.
Sure.
And so for him to look at it and go, now he's also a different generation, so that makes a difference as well. But good
job, Boston.
We stand together on this, arm in arm.
Let's recreate arm in arm.
Similar to the statue. So that was fantastic.
It's probably a good stopping point right
No,
there.
all I'm saying is it's just different. It's just different.
It's just different.
So,
it's kind of like the allergy gluten-free thing. Yeah, it's just different.
No,
things have changed.
No, what
different.
you said was offensive.
That
What
was
I've said
not
is
offensive.
just different. Yeah. So there's a difference.
I did a pretty outstanding job of doing some
backpedaling.
Yeah, some gymnastics to get myself out of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
Anyway, I wasn't trying to say that the artist who designed this was an American Idol, person.
He was an American Idol reject.
Yeah, no,
it
that's
was
not
William
what
Hung who. He was the one who designed the MLK stage. And he's lactose intolerant.
You're a terrible person. And he's lactose intolerant. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's bring this to a close.
Let's pray.
Yeah.
You don't know how to shut it down.
I don't.
Just give an invitation. Let's
Yep. Pray. Yep. Every head bowed.
every head closed and every eye bowed. Mm-hmm. Every eye bowed and every head closed.
So thank you for being here today. And maybe this is why we go, oh, I'm sorry. Whenever someone says
this is exactly why I apologize to people.
We're circling back.
Yeah, seriously.
Bring it on back. Anyway, thanks for being here for another episode of the Nothing and Everything podcast. We'll see you next time. I don't know why I just snapped.
Snap and wink. Hey.